There are concerts, there are remarkable concerts, and then there are those rare, unforgettable events that become part of music history. What happened in Stockholm during the Sweden leg of the Grand National Tour was not just another scheduled show, it was a cultural event. On this night, Kendrick Lamar and SZA turned the Ericsson Globe into a haven of sound, light, and emotion, creating a powerful and memorable finale to SZA's part of the tour that fans will remember for years. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. As soon as the lights dimmed and the first deep bass notes echoed through the arena, the atmosphere shifted. The excitement was tangible among the audience, who had braved the chilly Stockholm weather for hours, bundled in scarves and heavy coats, buzzing with the kind of energy that only music can inspire. The GNX Tour had already built a reputation for delivering some of the most ambitious performances of the decade, but tonight felt especially significant. Everyone knew this was SZA's final show of this leg, that they were about to witness the last ever joint performance of Luther, and that something historic was about to happen. SZA took the stage first, not just as an opener, but as a co-headliner who had consistently proven throughout the tour why she is one of the defining voices of her generation. Dressed in a flowing white outfit that shimmered under the stage lights, she began with the first notes of Snooze, and the entire venue seemed to exhale. Her voice, a mix of sweetness and melancholy, enveloped the audience. She navigated her setlist with elegance and precision, seamlessly blending hits like Kill Bill and Good Days with deeper tracks that her most devoted fans sang along to word for word. Every lyric, every pause, every moment was met with enthusiastic cheers from the crowd, demonstrating that Stockholm doesn't just attend concerts, it expresses love. The emotional peak of her performance came when she announced, almost shyly, that this would be her last night on this leg of the GNX Tour. The crowd erupted in cheers and chants, and it was clear she was fighting back tears. "I couldn't have asked for a better place to end this part of the journey," she told them, her voice quivering slightly. Then came Luther. The lights shifted to a warm, golden hue as Kendrick emerged from the shadows, and the two locked eyes before diving into the first verse. The chemistry between them was undeniable, the kind that cannot be faked. It was a performance where you could sense, even in the moment, that you were witnessing the final chapter of something extraordinary. By the end of the song, the entire arena was on its feet, holding up their phones, desperately trying to capture a piece of a moment they knew could never be truly replicated. While the performance of Luther marked an emotional farewell, what followed was an explosion of energy. Kendrick stayed on stage as SZA exited, and the mood shifted dramatically from soulful and heartfelt to intense and electrifying. The opening beat of DNA struck like a thunderclap, energizing the crowd. Kendrick has an incredible talent for commanding the stage. He doesn't just perform, he takes control of the entire space. Each verse was delivered with precision, and every pause was perfectly timed for the audience to react with their own cheers. Then, about halfway through the set, a significant moment unfolded, one that fans would remember with the same reverence usually reserved for championship wins and historic sports events. Family ties. As soon as the first note rang out, the Ericsson Globe came alive. The audience didn't merely sing along, they shouted the lyrics as if making a declaration, as if taking an oath. Kendrick thrived on this energy, amplifying his performance, delivering his lines with greater intensity and speed. When the beat shifted for the final verse, the crowd somehow found an extra surge of energy, making Stockholm possibly the loudest place on earth for those few minutes. The visual production matched the music's intensity. Massive LED screens displayed surreal, cinematic visuals, cityscapes transforming into abstract art, flashes of protest scenes, and black and white footage of dancers moving in perfect sync with the beats. The lighting changed to reflect the mood of each song, shifting from harsh reds for the more aggressive tracks to cool blues and purples for the reflective moments. During All Right, spotlights scanned the audience, and thousands of fans raised their hands in unison, chanting the chorus with a defiance that felt bigger than the venue itself. What distinguishes Kendrick's live performances is not just the visual spectacle, it's the storytelling. He didn't waste words between songs. When he spoke, it was purposeful, often linking the themes of his music to the emotions in the room. He talked about resilience, growth, and the importance of remaining true to oneself in a world that constantly tries to lead you astray. The audience in Stockholm listened closely, cheered, and absorbed every word. By the time he got to Money Trees, the vibe had settled into a deep groove. Fans were swaying, some quietly rapping along while others simply let the rhythm take over. He then brought SZA back for a final moment together, standing side by side and soaking in the cheers. There were no speeches or flashy theatrics, just two artists acknowledging their shared journey and the fans who made it all possible. The encore demonstrated a masterful sense of timing. Kendrick returned solo for Humble, allowing the audience to sing along to entire verses. Following that was Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, a haunting choice that showcased his remarkable ability to merge vulnerability with strength. The night wrapped up with Love, a gentle, almost personal closing that left the arena filled with a beautiful blend of joy and melancholy. When the lights finally came on, the expressions on people's faces showed that they had experienced something truly special. This was more than just a concert. It was a gathering of two top artists giving their all to an audience that responded with equal enthusiasm. It was a night that reinforced Stockholm's status as one of the most passionate stops on any world tour. For SZA, it was a temporary goodbye. For Kendrick, it signified another chapter in a tour that is rapidly becoming legendary. And for the fans, it was a moment to remember the last Luther, the most electrifying family ties, and a reminder that music, when done right, can transform a crowd of strangers into a family. As they left the arena, the chilly Stockholm air felt different. People were still buzzing, singing, and replaying moments in their minds. Strangers exchanged smiles, reminiscing about their favorite parts and sharing shaky phone videos with friends. Among the crowd, perhaps a young artist felt inspired to start their own journey, or someone who had been struggling felt a little lighter. For a few hours, everyone felt they were exactly where they were meant to be. The Grand National Tour will move on to its next city, country, and eager audience. However, Stockholm will always have a special significance in its story, not just because it marked SZA's farewell or the final Luther, but because it showcased an ideal combination of energy, talent, and connection. Such evenings are uncommon, and when they occur, they highlight the importance of live music. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the story.